Hello everybody and welcome to today's Indus Exceptional Experiences webinar. My name is Helen and I'm the Operations Manager at Indus Travels. Today I'll be presenting to you our fabulous women-only worldwide tours, which we call WOW. The goal of this presentation is to give you some more information about these tours and to give you some ideas about how to sell women-only tours. As you can see from this slide, Indus offers many different brands, so our WOW tours are one of these sub-brands. We also have only Latin America tours, only Asia tours, and only Africa tours. To start with, I'm going to give you a brief overview of Indus Travels. So here's the overview. Who is Indus? Indus is a family-owned mid-sized tour operator offering unique trips and experiences to travellers across Canada and the USA. We offer small group and custom trips in Asia, Middle East, Africa and South America. Our head office is based in Canada, in Richmond, BC, and we have sales offices and sales representatives in Toronto, Vancouver and Los Angeles. We've been in business for the past 12 years, since 2001, and to give you an idea of the volume of clients that we've handled over those years, last year in 2012 we had over 4,000 passengers travel on our tours. Below is some pictures of our wonderful team based in our Richmond office. So next time you give us a call, you'll be able to put a name to a face. What makes Indus different from other tour operators? Well, this slide really describes that in itself. We're an award-winning tour operator. We've had 5 times been the winner of the Best Tour Operator to India from the Americas. We offer competitive prices. We strive to offer tours at unbeatable prices. So it's very important to shop around, of course, these days, but our tours give you excellent value for money. And very much today, not everybody is looking for a cookie-cutter tour. So we offer customized travel solutions. Whilst most other tour operators have set itineraries, our strength is actually being able to customize itineraries in a wide variety of destinations. Where do we travel to? Well, we cover many different places worldwide. We started out originally doing the Indian subcontinent, including India, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka and the Maldives. But since that starting of the company, we've also added many other worldwide destinations, including the Middle East, Asia, Africa and South America. I do encourage you to go onto our website, www.indus.travel, and check out some of these destinations and the wide variety of tours that we offer. We actually have over 350 tours worldwide. Our motto is exceptional experiences, and this slide is very much what exceptional experiences are all about. This hotel is called the Oberoi Amber Villas and it overlooks the Taj Mahal in Agra. It really is quite an exceptional hotel worldwide, and when we have guests who stay in this hotel on our Maharaja tour, they often come back just talking about the actual experience of staying at the hotel. Every room offers views of the Taj Mahal. I wanted to include some feedback from our clients just to give you an idea of the kind of experiences that people have on an Indus tours, and I'll read you this quote here. We were one of the first balloons of probably 100 in the air on a perfectly clear morning, and we were able to see sunrise at the same time as witnessing a full moon set, a unique and breathtaking moment that I will never forget. And that was a client who went on a trip to Turkey with us. And you can read some more feedback from our clients on our website, something that we very much pride ourselves in. We offer a variety of destinations, as I mentioned before. This here is a picture of the Galapagos Islands, so you'll find a variety of product to that destination on our website, as well as many other really exotic places worldwide. So our tours are not cookie-cutter tours. You can go on our website and discover not only a wide variety of destinations, but also a wide variety of themed tours. Today I'm talking about our women-only tours, but you'll also be able to find culinary tours and photography tours, pilgrimage tours to Israel and other places, bird watching tours, wine tasting tours, and much more. So if you're looking for something different, definitely a great place to start is having a peruse through our website and seeing all of these wonderful tours that we offer. This here is a picture of the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa. Again, another really unique destination that our travellers very much enjoy visiting. Our tours are very much about food, and we really believe that it's great to experience the local food in a destination that you're travelling to. So we not only get to go to famous restaurants, but we also get to go into local markets and discover the raw ingredients. Our trips are very much about real experiences and really getting to meet the locals in the destination that you're travelling to. On our photography tours, you'll definitely see the world from a different angle. These tours are led by photographers themselves who'll be able to give you tips to be able to really capture the destination that you're visiting. And we started out as doing India, and of course India is a destination where you really will experience some fascinating lives and something totally out of the ordinary. So I do encourage you to check out our India product on our website. But today the purpose of this webinar is to talk about our women-only worldwide tours. So to begin with, I wanted to start with a quote from a very, very famous woman who took a lot of the inspiration from her writing, from her books in her travels that she did. That's Dame Agatha Christie, and I'm going to read the quote. "Your travel life has the aspect of a dream. It is something outside the normal, yet you are in it. It's the people with characters you've never seen before and in all probability will never see again. It brings occasional homesickness and longingness and pangs of longing. But you are like the Vikings who have gone into a world of adventure, and home is not home until you return." And I've put that quote there because Dame Agatha Christie is a very inspiring woman. She, in fact, is the highest-selling novelist worldwide. She's sold roughly 4 billion copies. And in the Guinness Book of Records, it says that her works rank third after William Shakespeare and the Bible. But as I mentioned before, I put this here because I wanted to start with a woman who's been inspired by travel. And I want to talk to you about who travels on our WOW tours. Well, in fact, any age of woman can go on these trips, but mostly they do cater to the over 40s bracket. And the reason why is because these are women who've grown up and watched their children grow up and travel to exotic places. And it's now their turn to have some fun. But they definitely don't want to do that alone. They want to travel with their fellow female travellers. And I've just put a quote down here from a traveller who went on one of our WOW China trips, and she said, "I ate with chopsticks the whole time. I would recommend this trip. It was such an adventure." So you can see here that these women, it might not have been a rite of passage for them when they were younger to put on a backpack and go travelling around the world like it has been for many people now in their early 20s and 30s. This was a generation of women who were brought up to raise their children, have careers, and now's their time to travel, which they're doing on our WOW tours. For those who like statistics, this chart is quite interesting. It's actually statistics from Canada, and as you can see, it relates to the number of non-married individuals. They could be widowed, divorced, single, whatever they are, they're single people, and you can see that very much in the 45 to 50 plus bracket, that more and more solo women are out there in the market. They're people who have the ability to travel, they're people who have the money to travel. So it's a great market to tap into, and it's a very, very fast growing market, women-only tours. So I do encourage you to learn as much as you can about this market. Here's another very interesting statistic. You can definitely tell here that 92% of vacations are made by women, or the decision is made by women. So women definitely wear the pants when it comes to deciding on where they go on holiday and what vacation decision is happening. So you can see here, this is a picture of one of our women-only groups in northern India. It's our Northern India Jules trip, and you can just see the demographic of the travellers here. They're all ladies who are in that 40-plus bracket who really have this yearning and desire to travel to somewhere exotic. So your average adventure traveller is definitely not necessarily a 28-year-old guy with a backpack on, but in fact a 50-plus lady who's just got this incredible spirit of adventure. And I wanted to read this quote here from one of our Southern India women-only tours. Our guide Esther was wonderful. She introduced us to experiences and situations that I know were not on the itinerary, partaking in 2 Indian weddings, a boy's 7th birthday celebration, and a celebration for the 7th month of pregnancy, all in a temple, attending a Hindu elephant ceremony. Awesome. The list goes on and on. The biggest thrill for Lauren, who was 14, was when Esther said, "Lauren, why don't you drive the houseboat?" She'll talk about that for years. That was just a quote from a mother-daughter couple who went on one of our Southern India tours. A lot of fun and a spirit of adventure. So what can you expect when you go on a WOW tour? Well, what we've done is we've created a consistent product so that regardless of the destination that you're travelling to, there's a similarity in the style and feel of your WOW tour. And it's what we actually call our WOW brand DNA. So what I'm going to do in the next few slides coming up is talk to you some more about that. So the first point on the checklist of our WOW brand DNA, of course, is small groups. And small groups are very, very important to the kind of experience that you'll have on a tour. The maximum group size on our WOW tours is 16, but most tours will actually run with even a minimum of 2 on the trip. And by travelling in a small group, you're able to have experiences that you wouldn't be able to have on a large, big motor coach tour. Things like eating in local restaurants, wandering through a market as a group, unique shopping experiences, cooking classes, things like that are so much more intimate experience in a small group. Of course, we have activities that appeal to women, and when we surveyed women to ask them what they were interested in when they're travelling, of course there was a common theme, particularly culture and cultural performances, spa activities, cooking and learning how to prepare local cuisine. Of course, eating was a very, very big theme, and also chocolate tasting, drinking wine, dance classes, unique shopping experiences, going into little local markets and learning about local crafts such as perfume making or weaving. On top of that, women really love local interaction. Of course, every lady loves to chat, and one of the unique things about our WOW tours is that you'll really be able to meet your local female counterparts and share their commonalities and differences. The tours are led by a local female guide who'll be able to break down the barriers and ensure that nothing's lost in translation. So on WOW tours, very much local interaction is a big theme of our tours. You'll get to meet local people, you'll get to share stories, you'll get to share meals, you'll get to share tea with them, and you'll really have great conversations with your local friends. There's no compulsory single supplement on a WOW tour, which is a fabulous selling feature. So if you have a lady who is solo, who's happy to share, we'll match them up with another solo lady. You don't need to worry about that at all. We do all the work in that regard. If there's nobody to match them up with, then we'll cover the cost of the single supplement. However, we do also get a lot of ladies who don't want to share. They prefer to go back at the end of the day and have their own privacy, have their own room. So for those ladies, we do have a supplement cost that they can pay if they choose to have their own room. One thing about our WOW tours which sets us aside from many other tours is the number of included meals. Breakfast is included every day on a WOW tour, and at Indus we believe that part of the fun of travelling is actually trying the local dishes, so we include lots of opportunities to try local regional cuisine in local restaurants. On some of our tours we even learn how to cook the local food, and that could be either with a local celebrity chef or a renowned female chef, or it could be just in the house of a local person. If the meal's included, then we'll dine as a group. However, you're always free to kind of follow your nose and do your own thing. Our hotel accommodation, we've paid great attention to detail in selecting the hotels that we use on our WOW tours. All of our hotels will be 4-star or better, and usually we try and select a boutique property that has character that specifically appeals to women. We've also included some unique accommodation experiences, and some examples of that are a 400-year-old fort in Rajasthan, a houseboat in Kerala, and a deluxe desert camp in Morocco. In the major cities where we stay, we always make sure that our accommodation is centrally located and in safe parts of town, because on your free time you might want to wander off and go and visit a local market or something in the area. We want to make sure that you're in a safe part of that particular city. So our accommodation is a very important feature of our tours. Our trips are all about a spirit of adventure. Quite often we get asked if you need a particular level of fitness to go on a WOW tour. Absolutely not. These tours are just about a spirit of adventure and a yearning to travel to an exotic destination. However, saying that, it's important that you do make your client aware that when they're visiting sites, that there'll definitely be some walking involved, and also the itineraries have lots of inclusions, so you can either choose to join an activity or spend a day relaxing. It's up to yourself to take it at your own pace, but we do include a lot on these tours so that you get to see the maximum amount during the time of the tour. So our tours are different from many other tours in that they're led by local female tour leaders. At Indus, we really believe that giving you a first-hand experience of the local culture is very important. So on a WOW tour, you'll definitely get to experience the life of a local woman and get to ask plenty of questions. So all of our WOW tour leaders are experienced local female tour leaders. They'll meet you when you arrive in country rather than travelling on the aeroplane with you. And being local, your tour leader really will introduce you to the very best of her country, its culture, cuisine, shopping experiences. And we often get a very similar feedback from a lot of our guests on our trips that their tour leader was a highlight of their tour, if not the highlight of their tour. Our tours are fabulous value for money. When you look at the list of all of the inclusions on a WOW tour, you'll really realise that you're getting a very good value for money. All of our tours include arrival and departure transfers. Breakfast is included daily, and many highlight meals are actually included in the price. Also, which is very important, is that most of the major sightseeing entrance fees are included. And remember as well that our accommodation is superior, unique accommodation, boutique hotels. And again, your tour is escorted by a local female tour leader. So these are some of the features there of a WOW tour. I'll just run through them once more, just quickly. Small groups, activities that appeal to women, local interaction, no compulsory single supplement, many included meals, superior and unique hotels, a spirit of adventure, a local female tour leader, and great value for money. So those are things that you can take home and remember when you're selling a women-only worldwide tour. So these really are, just to encapsulate it all, adventures created for women of the world. And this is a picture of one of our WOW Morocco groups standing in the Sahara Desert in the morning after they've stayed in a deluxe Bedouin desert camp. So group travel has its benefits, and one of the big things for women when they're looking to travel to an exotic destination is definitely safety, and it's definitely a benefit of travelling on a WOW tour that you will be in a group, you'll have a local tour leader, you'll also be able to cover a lot in a short period of time, which would not be possible for that cost if you were travelling as a solo. So these are important, three important things to women when they're choosing to travel on a women-only tour. This here again is a picture of one of our groups at a Berber cultural centre in Morocco, and they've just about finished baking their bread and they're going to the oven to go and retrieve it. So a lot of fun, real local experience. A very important point about travel is that quite often tours and tour guides talk only about history from a male perspective. And we are very different on our WOW tours. In fact, we call it Her Story. On WOW tours, we learn about the achievements of women from past and present. And I've put here a picture of one of my favourite characters from history. This is actually a picture of the Empress Dowager Cixi, and she was said to have unofficially but effectively controlled China for 47 years. And she was a woman who was quite different in her day and age because she knew how to read and write Han Chinese. So she actually ousted the regencies and took over the rule from behind her young son, who was emperor at the time. So if you go on our WOW China tour, you'll learn a lot more about the Empress Dowager Cixi and other characters from history in China. So our destinations. Now, I'm only going to cover our destinations briefly, but one thing that you will realise about our WOW product is that we have something for everyone, and we have a very wide variety of destinations that we travel to. So to start with, our WOW Northern India Jewels trip, and here's a picture of the Taj Mahal. It's a wonderful, most incredible monument to love. The tour is very well priced, and it covers the highlights of the Golden Triangle and much more. So for a first-time trip to India, we always suggest visiting the towns of the Golden Triangle, which are Delhi, Agra and Jaipur. And on this trip, we also get an experience to stay in a 400-year-old fort, which you can really feel like an Indian princess when you go and stay in a fort in Rajasthan. The tour starts, as I mentioned, in the bustling city of Delhi, which is a wonderful place. You'll get to explore the spice markets, and you'll get to really see what modern life is like in India. And the tour actually ends up in Udaipur, which is one of the most romantic cities in India, where you'll see Lake Pichola. My favourite experience on this trip is actually when we get to have chat and chai with a successful female entrepreneur in Delhi. So this is what we've done with our Northern India trip is we've actually matched up the dates to coincide with our Southern India trip. So for ladies who are going to India as a once-in-a-lifetime trip, they can actually do the North and the South in one trip. And the nice thing about this is that both tours are the same price, so it's great value for money to do the whole of India in the one go. The south of India has quite a different feel and flavour from the north of India. On our southern India tour, you'll get to really experience life in the backwaters. We go on a private houseboat in Alleppey, which is known as the Venice of the East. We get to discover the exotic wildlife on a jungle walk. And one of my favourite experiences on this trip is actually a cooking demo and lunch on a spice farm with an Indian hostess and her family. Our WOW Vietnam tour is a comprehensive tour of Vietnam, and you can see here that's a picture of one of the boats on Halong Bay that we travel on. On this tour, you'll get to visit Hanoi, Halong Bay, Hue, Hoi An and Saigon. And we always recommend to people that they don't miss the post-tour extension to Cambodia. But some of the highlights of our Vietnam tour are, of course, the travelling on a luxurious Indo-Chinese junk on Halong Bay, going to dine at Bobby Chin's restaurant, which is the only 5-diamond restaurant in Vietnam, and also learning how to make ancient handcrafts in traditional villages. Here's just another gorgeous picture that you can see there from Halong Bay. China is an incredibly wonderful exotic destination, and I can tell you from personal experience, the first time that I went to China, I went as a solo traveller, and it was quite a daunting experience, mostly because of the language challenges. There's not a lot of English spoken in China. So the good thing about going on a WOW China tour is you have an expert local female tour leader who speaks Chinese and English fluently. This trip is a comprehensive tour. It starts in Beijing and it ends in Shanghai, and we get to visit the towns of Xi'an, Guilin and Zhujiagao, which is a water town. But some of the highlights, of course, include walking on the Great Wall of China, which is vast and seemingly endless. We get to enjoy a tea ceremony with a Chinese hostess. We get to learn about the famous terracotta warriors and how that they were made. And of course, we get to go to the Beijing Opera, or the Peking Opera in Beijing. And here's just a picture of the fabulous opera performers. You can just imagine seeing these ladies sing, just quite incredible. And here, of course, is a picture of one of the terracotta warriors in Xi'an. And a lot of people ask, were there any female warriors? Well, unfortunately, the answer is no. There were no female terracotta warriors, but there's a lot of legends in Chinese history. One in particular is a legend about a young girl who actually dressed as a male, and she fought in the Chinese army. Mulan, you might have heard of it. It's actually a Disney classic now. So we learn a lot about what stories from history for women in China. Great destination, which is very popular and a wonderful place to travel for women because it has so much to offer, is of course Thailand. And you can see they're cooking beautiful, absolutely delicious Thai food, visiting elephant camps. Our tour to Thailand is mostly a northern tour, and the reason for that is that that's where a lot of the action and activity is. And then we offer a post-tour extension to Phuket where you can go and rest and relax on the beach before returning back home. But of course, this Thailand is a shopper's paradise, so we've included a lot of shopping experiences on this tour. In fact, it arrives in Bangkok on a Saturday to coincide with the Chatuchak weekend market, which is one of the largest markets in Asia. We also get to discover the secrets of Thai cuisine during a hands-on cooking class, and no trip to Thailand is complete without a Thai massage, so we get to experience a traditional Thai massage, which is done with your clothes on. On top of that, some of the unique experiences include visiting a remote hill tribe in northern Thailand and also an elephant camp. So it really is a wonderful destination and a wonderful tour. You can just see here some pictures of colourful Thailand, a mother-daughter couple there going on the funny tuk-tuks, which are the great form of local transport, and the colourful chilies and spices in the market. You definitely come home with lots of flavours from Thailand. Turkey is a very, very popular destination, and one that we've done, had great feedback from our WOW clients, of course. So the destinations that we travel to on this trip are quite comprehensive. It covers the major highlights of Turkey, including Istanbul, Cappadocia, Pamukkale, Kusadasi, Çanakkale, and Istanbul. We start and end in Istanbul. Istanbul has so much to offer. You've got the old and the new. It's really very much a meeting of Europe and Asia. Some of the highlights of this trip include the Topkapi Palace. We get to do a wonderful thermal healing bath in Pamukkale, visiting a pottery workshop in Cappadocia. And on this trip, we actually stay in a cave hotel, which is a really interesting experience. Of course, Turkey is very well known for its ancient ruins, and of those we get to see, in particular, the one that's popular is Ephesus. We get to take a walking tour of the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul also. You can just see here, this is a picture of the ancient ruins of Ephesus. Very, very incredible and a very lasting memory of your trip to Turkey. So moving along to Egypt, and Egypt really has, it's the ultimate and one of the oldest tourist destinations, and it's a wonderful place to visit. Has it all, and our tour is quite comprehensive. Probably the highlight of the tour is actually a cruise down the magnificent Nile River on a luxurious cruise boat. And from the banks of the Nile, you get to see life in Egypt, and it's a really wonderful experience. You'll also get to have a camel ride near the Great Pyramids of Giza, try your skills at belly dancing, ride a horse-drawn carriage to the Temple of Horus at Edfu, and also learn about the history of Egypt from a female Egyptologist. So you get a really unique perspective there. But one of my favourite things is the markets in Egypt, and one in particular is the Kangahli Bazaar, which is in Istanbul. It's a great place to shop. But don't forget that the tour's not over when it's over, because we have a wonderful post-tour trip to Jordan. So definitely have a look on our website about the post-tour Jordan extension. It goes to Petra, and it is wonderful to add on to this tour. And just here's some pictures of the wonderful people that you might get to meet in some of the markets in Cairo and other parts. So I've already mentioned a little bit about our Morocco trip. It's a wonderful trip. It's probably one of our most popular tours because Morocco is a destination that holds a lot of mystery and intrigue for women travellers. It's an 11-day, 10-night tour. It starts in Casablanca and ends in Marrakesh. We have plenty of wonderful experiences on this trip. We get to try the local food. You'll get to go shop in the colourful bazaars and souks for fresh ingredients, souvenirs and much more. One of the highlights is actually a cafe where we go and have a meal in Casablanca. And everybody knows the famous film Casablanca. Well, there was an American woman, Kathy Kringer, who was so enamored by the movie that she made a recreation of the cafe, which is now in Casablanca, and we go and have a meal there. We get to sleep in a deluxe Bedouin tent in the Sahara Desert. And we get to share an authentic day in the life of Berber women at the Berber Cultural Centre, which is really great. And you can see here some of our ladies there doing a cooking class with a local lady making some delicious Moroccan food. And there's a deluxe desert camp. Peru is a very popular destination, and our Peru Wow Tour covers many of the highlights of Peru. Starts in and ends in Lima, so it's a round trip, and of course the highlight of the trip is the wonderful ruins at Machu Picchu. On top of that, we get to visit a National Geographic sponsored weaving project in Cusco, and as you might know, weaving is an ancient art in Peru, but it's actually an art that has been dying out. So a wonderful lady called Nilda recognised this, and she started a project to preserve the culture of weaving. We also learn how to make pisco sour, which is the country's national drink, and you'll get to visit the largest private collection of indigenous orchids. So wonderful tour again. Here is just a picture of the National Geographic sponsored weaving project. Our WOW Argentina tour is a new addition to the WOW range. Argentina is a wonderful destination, so much to offer, and particularly in things of interest to women. Of course, the trip starts in Mendoza and ends in Buenos Aires, and we get to also travel to Iguazu. So it's very much the main destinations to go, and we have some highlights of this tour. One in particular is visiting Evita Recoletta's cemetery in Buenos Aires. You'll get to try the local cuisine and even go to a tango dinner show in Buenos Aires. And here is just an incredible picture here of Iguazu. Our WOW Kenya tour is another very popular tour, particularly because Kenya is a destination of so much wildlife. So our tour very much focuses on the wildlife that you'll see there. It's a 9-night, 10-day tour. And some of the highlights, of course, are seeing the Big Five in the famous Masai Mara National Reserve. You'll get to learn about the rich biodiversity of the beautiful Rift Valley, and you'll get to search for rare black rhino in the Nakuru National Park. And here's just some of the beautiful wildlife that you'll get to see. And finally, the last destination that I'm going to cover briefly is our scenic South Africa tour. And for those who know about South Africa, it really is quite a beautiful destination with so much to offer, so much wildlife, so much culture. Our trip starts in Cape Town and covers the garden route, ending in Port Elizabeth. Some of the particular highlights of this tour are, of course, the food, trying the local wine, chocolate tasting near Cape Town. We'll also take a voyage on the country's only paddle cruiser in Knysna. Knysna is a very scenic, very beautiful place to visit. And we stay in the largest luxury lodge in the greater Kruger National Park area. So you'll definitely be touched by the wildlife and the experiences that you'll have in South Africa. And here's just a picture of some of the vineyards that you'll get to see in just outside Cape Town. Great wine growing area. Finally, so if I just wanted to talk about custom designing your own private tour. So we often get women who come to us who have a group of ladies who travel together and they have a particular tour or destination or places that they want to visit. Well, we can certainly customize your own private wow tour, and it's a great way to lead your own group as well. If you have a group of at least 10 or more, then you can actually custom design your trip of a lifetime. And you just need to talk to us about doing that. So that's about all I've got to say today about our women-only worldwide tours. But one thing that I do encourage you to do is give our office a call, talk to our travel experts, and learn more and more about becoming an expert on women's travel. Thank you for your time today.